Hey guys, and welcome back to Sophie Lofi. So today we're going to be doing a bit of a different video. I did put up like a community post, I think they're called, if you guys wanted to see a doll customizing video, and honestly I didn't really get that many responses, so I'm like, you know what, I don't have any new unboxings to do because I am broke and doll prices are so expensive and I am in college still, so. But yeah. So today is gonna be, I'm so sorry for the lighting, it is dark, it is raining outside, that's why my curtains are closed. But yeah, today we're on my desk, and we're gonna be doing a doll customizing video. So yeah, this is new for my channel. I'm gonna try to keep it as, family friendly as possible, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy the video. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got. So yeah, let's just jump right into it. I'll show you the concept and the dolls, like the before of what I'm gonna use. So yeah, let's go. So for my concept sketch, I actually have it right here. I actually just did it. So I want to create a T-man, so like a T-demon. I was heavily inspired by HU Dolls, which you can see right here. This is my laptop. I love their work. As you can see, all their T-mans. HU Dolls is so talented. I love how it just looks. It's just like a doll rising from a teacup. That's just so incredible. So I was like, okay, I want to do this. Like, I want to make it for my tea that like I love. So my favorite type of tea is black tea with honey, mint, chamomile, and a little bit of linden. I don't know what exactly this is called, but I searched it up. It's called Manuka honey tea. So that's what she is going to be. This is my concept sketch. I don't know what kind of teacup I'm going to be using. HU Dolls, they use like broken glasses and they made like kintsugi out of them. I can't do that because I don't want to intentionally break something. In their series, the teacups came broken, so anyway, check them out. They're incredible. I'll put the link in the description and everything, but so this is my concept sketch. So for this, basically, the doll, only the top part of a Monster High doll will be used. So legs are gone because the teacup is kind of like small. But yeah, so this is kind of what she looks like. I did not design her face yet, but we're gonna just roll with it and see how it goes. But yeah, so these are like, this is like the color palette I want to use. So yeah, so that's the concept sketch. Let's get that out of the way, and here I'll show you the dolls that I am going to be using. This is a horrifying sight. This is a Claw Venus head I have had for many years. She was actually my first Claw Venus. I got a second one because this one is heavily broken. Here, I'll show you what remains of her. So I actually tried to take, like when I was taking her head off for the doll customization, the neck peg came out from the head, so everything shattered. This is what is left of my poor Claw Venus doll. The hand is chewed, the hand is missing, there's bite marks everywhere. Lesson learned in my younger years, don't let your pets near your dolls, because my dog thought this was a play toy. I was like, you know what, I'll just keep her, because, you know, she was my first doll, and I was like, you know what, yeah, sure. And now she's coming in handy. I actually really like her mold, because she's got leaf ears, because Claw Venus is like from the Freaky Fusion movie. She's the mix of Claudine and Venus, so she's got like the little leaf ears. So that's what I want to incorporate with my doll, because I want to make these like mint leaves. So I'm gonna like paint them green and stuff. And just overall, her mold is really nice. So we're gonna be using this one. And because her body is totaled, there is no saving it unless I want to use it for parts. I recently got this Coffin Bean Claudine in a lot that I got from a seller. She's the perfect I already took her head off. That was just to show you. She's a perfect candidate because her legs are so wobbly. And because I don't need legs for this project, I thought she would be the perfect candidate because she's got some... Oh my god, I can't do this one-handed, but she's got elastic legs. As you can tell, there's a black rubber band in there. And usually they're plastic. So this one is a good candidate to be broken in. I don't know how else to say it without sounding really grotesque. But yeah, so hopefully you'll stay along with me for this journey. It's going to take probably a while, but yeah. So let's get to it. So I actually wanted to record the process of taking the hair out of the head and removing her factory paint with acetone, only to realize that I wasn't recording. So apologies, but here's the finished face, and here is the body that we're going to use. Since this project doesn't require the doll to have legs, I'm going to just yank them off and basically just, like, there's a rubber band in between the legs. So I'm just going to cut the inside of them and then just tear them apart. And then, yeah, all the body modifications for this doll specifically will be complete. So now that the mods are out of the way, I'm going to start with applying some pastels to her face and ears. This didn't really work in the end, so later in the video you'll see that I actually switched to acrylic paint to finish the job. But, well, the pastels offered a good, like, base layer, especially for the leaves on her head. Yeah, it was, like, a good base layer to start off with, so I'm not too mad. So now I'm going to shift focus a bit, and I'm making hair wefts. I usually prefer rooting hair, but since the original, like, Claw Venus doll base didn't have hair holes in the entire head because there was, like, some flocking spots, but that's fine. This was technically my only option. It's a fine option. But basically, I just start with cutting 100% acrylic yarn numerous times to get with the desired length, and I pretty much keep going until I approximately think I have enough, which is usually like a dowel's worth, as you see on screen right now, which is just like a long wooden stick. But yeah, now I'm just going to wrap the cut strands around the wooden stick, double knotting them as I go to ensure that they stay in place. And since I'm using two hair colors, because I want to have like her base color and then she's going to have like yellow highlights, I'm just repeating, and we're just going to repeat the same steps with the other colors to have enough in the end. And now when I wrapped all the strands around, it took hours, but I'm just basically going to use a pipette brush to comb and separate the fibers as I go, so that for the next step I can make them silky again with a hair straightener. And basically, yeah, you have doll hair that way, which is pretty cool. Now, as you see on screen, as I said before, I switched to acrylic paints and repainted the doll completely off camera because the pastels I was using just weren't getting me anywhere. So while I was at it, I also added the white eye color and the lip color. Now here's the concept sketch for her face. I'm going to basically just add yellow eyeshadow, green eyes, a neutral lip color, so kind of between red and pink, and baby hairs to her forehead, and a bunch of piercings, because that is what HU Dolls did with her dolls. So I thought that was just really cool. But in the end, I ended up actually just giving her fake piercings with half-beaded charms, as you'll see. And now it's finally time for the face. Oh, my favorite part, really. I had to zoom in to get the best angle, but basically first I'm going to go in with my mechanical pencil to create like a sketch for the face, like a guideline, I guess. I did this after applying a single layer of matte varnish and letting that dry completely before drawing onto the face, so I don't like accidentally smudge or ruin or chip the acrylic paint underneath. And now it is time for acrylics. So basically I just start by applying a layer of white paint as a base and then layering the yellow paint on top of it so that the color really pops. I find that works best on like a darker surface or darker skin tones with dolls. Next, I'm going to paint the eyebrows with a solid black color. Next, I am going to darken the lip color just a tad bit. And later I'll, of course, add like details, like the little wrinkles on the lips and everything. And I finally now paint the irises green. Well, I have my concept sketch on the side, just off cam, and I'm just referencing that as I go. And while I'm doing the eyes, I figured that, well, she needs a waterline, so I just add that in with just a red pinky color to give the doll some realistic features, just like normal eyes have a waterline. And now I finished painting the face off camera and adding in little details in the brows, the eyes, lips, as well as paint her bottom lashes. And give her an eyebrow, lip, and nose highlights, and of course painting her baby hairs. And now it's time for clothes. So I did, as you could tell, I did some prep work off cam for her outfit. Like I glued the 2 bottom skirt pieces and the sleeves to the doll. And now I'm just going to take pieces and glue like the edges so that it's kind of like seamless. And then I'm just going to layer more pieces onto the doll to eventually create an outfit. Now, this is the first time I actually glued an outfit on the doll directly. I've made dolls in the past, I just never recorded them. I always sew my doll clothes on because it provides, more stability in the end, and it'll give the clothes a longer lifetime. But the reason I glued her outfit this time was because the doll would ultimately be sealed in resin. This means that she will not be able to come out of the teacup, and therefore there will be no need to switch or take off her outfit by any means. So to save myself some of the hassle, I use this method, which actually HU Dolls used herself as well. This is a nice solution for customizers who are new or don't want to swap their doll clothes or have any need to wash the clothing pieces in general. And it was nice trying out this like new technique and knowing that like I don't always have to sew, because on a doll scale it's not always possible to sew such small clothes and accessories. So sometimes you do have to cheat a little bit. But it's a good, knowing that you can still glue an outfit on, and in the end it will become something, like it'll look nice. So that's good to know for future dolls and future projects, or if I want to like make more dolls inspired by HU Dolls. So yeah. Now we're gonna switch back to the hair again. So after I straightened all the strands, I cut them and I glued them to my not so great looking mat with just like normal stationery glue, so that the edges get a little harder. And I let it sit for a couple of days, so now all that's left is to peel the strands off of my mat and cut the glued edges so that they're even, but like not cut the glue off completely, just so that like the uneven edges become as even as they can be. And sometimes the strands like to come apart, which is fine. You'll just use them for smaller parts of the head. What you see on screen right now was actually a lot. I made a lot more wefts than I ended up needing to have, which is a good thing, actually. Better to have more than to have less. But yeah, it comes with practice. This is only my second time doing it. So, well, you know, with practice you keep improving, and then you'll realize how much like a doll head actually takes to make with like yarn. But yeah, just trial and error basically. And once again, I glued the hair off camera. Sorry I couldn't show this process of gluing the wefts, but let me just say it was super tedious and time consuming, and it had so many errors, and I just didn't want to show that here. But in the end, she really does look really nice. So now I'm going to take some air dry clay I found at my local craft store, wherever, I forgot where I got it from. But I'm basically just filling the bottom of the teacup to create a sort of base for the doll to sit in and to be propped up on, so that she has a lot more stability and she's not just going to move around when I add the resin. And with this, because the clay ended up filling, I want to say, about 2/3 of the cup, which saved me quite a bit of resin in the end, because resin is a lot more expensive than clay, as I recently found out when I had to buy it. But yeah, this was a really cool solution. So yeah, I basically just imprinted the lower half of the doll inside the clay so that she would have like her own little seat. But yeah, as you can see here, I'm just trying to like maneuver her around so that the clay can air dry and become solid before I add the resin in. And here she is, encoded in the resin. I did not film this part because it was my very first time using this specific resin. I've used resin in the past, but in very small quantities, not something this large. I just didn't want it all over my camera, and I was just basically wearing gloves the entire time. But now I'm just going to add some last minute touches to her design, like flowers around her body and false lashes. And then we can call her done. And she's done. I am so happy with how she turned out. I feel like all of the colors and accessories really complement her. And of course, this is my first video showcasing a doll customization project. However, it is not my first doll that I have made, as I've said before. I've been making dolls for about 2 years now. But this is the first time I wanted to actually show the complete process from the concept sketch to the finished doll. Hope you all enjoyed this new content from me. Please like, subscribe, and comment your thoughts. I love you all and stay safe. Thank you for watching. Bye!